Welcome to the Uncultured Opinions podcast. I'm one of your three co-hosts, Brent. This is the fuckhead, Ethan.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I felt like in the moment I felt like insulting you, and then
You seem to regret it as soon as you said it.
instantly I was kind of like, you know, I feel bad for him now.
Well, I'm Ethan. I'm Ethan, I guess.
And our third co-host, Sam, is not here.
He might join us on a FaceTime call. I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't know if Sam's coming back.
We legit haven't seen Sam in 11 weeks.
Yeah, it's been so long since I've seen Sam, man.
Since quarantine started, we legit haven't seen him because he's just like, all right, I'm out. He bounced and he went somewhere.
He's gone.
He hasn't come back yet.
Today we have a action-packed episode for you, but first, let's hear a word from our sponsors. Our sponsors being patreon.com/the Uncultured Opinions podcast. Toss us a few bucks our way and you'll get a butt ton of extras.
Our tiers are ass right now.
Dude,
I looked at them today. They're ass.
Most of them are still good, though.
We need to update them.
Okay, well, I think it's 2025. You give us a movie
That's not right.
to review.
25 is a movie. One movie a month.
Yeah. Pretty good tier. We've had some takers on that, and we've done a few episodes, and they've been really fun. So
that's true. We did.
This
is our first episode back, actually.
Yeah,
because it was going to be last one, but we scrapped it.
Yeah,
for unspoken reasons.
Yeah,
political reasons.
Ethan, will you shut the fuck up? This is why we had to scrap the episode.
I'm not giving any details.
This is why we had to fucking scrap the episode.
I just said political reasons. That's why we scrapped. Actually, no. Then they're gonna assume we said some bad shit.
We didn't say bad shit. We
said opinionated shit.
Yeah.
And we are. I was gonna say we are an unopinionated podcast, but that's clearly not true. We are a non-political podcast. Basically, we just scrapped it because we didn't want to bring any politics into it whatsoever, good or bad.
I will say real quick, there have been some atrocities in the world.
We're not talking about it.
We're not going to talk about it.
I don't even want to bring it up.
I know, me too, but it's kind of our duty to at least say it's fucked, and we want the world to get better, and we stand with the right movements.
Right movements. That just sounds like you're being super vague so that people will see what you're saying when you say the right movements. People on both movements are going to be like, they're talking about our movement. They're talking about this one.
Let's be clear. We stand with Black Lives Matter, and we want the atrocities in the world to end.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, true.
The world's just a sad place, especially after the movie we're doing this week.
Yeah,
it gives me no hope.
That's all we're gonna say about it, though. We just want to give our condolences with everything, and we stand with the movement. But let's hear a word from. We gotta remember to do the sponsor slot like halfway through the show before we hit the main comment.
The anchor sponsor spot?
Yeah.
Okay.
But all right, let's talk about what we've been watching this week. Because
when are we doing that shout out, by the way, just so we're on the same page.
Oh, let's just go ahead and do it now. We want to give a shout out to some of our really good pod buddies at Film on the Rocks. They have been nothing but supportive to us, and we've been nothing but supportive to them. We love them a lot. They're really good guys. Honestly, I listen to their podcast and I'm like, damn, I don't think I'll be able to do this good. Like they're fantastic.
It was kind of a downer because they started almost the exact same time we did. That's how I found them, was on the podcast subreddit. There's like I don't know if you ever get on Reddit, but yeah, that's where I found them. Was Reddit does like a weekly thread where you plug your own, and I went to plug ours, and I was scrolling through them, and I saw Film on the Rocks. I'm like, well, we're a film podcast, so let me listen to this, and it was like super high quality, and it was like episode 2 when I found them, and I was like, damn. Yeah, we need to step up our game.
We really do.
But then, both of us have been conversing with them a little bit, and they're super chill. Their last episode was actually really good.
They did a bonus episode.
The bonus one, he was asking me for Brooker, I believe, was asking me for some feedback on the episode because they weren't sure because it was different than what they usually do. And I thought it was their best one yet. It was probably my favorite. I think it went really well.
It was a really enjoyable episode. I saw them asking on Twitter for questions. I went ahead and sent one in, and I liked a lot of their responses. I liked how in-depth they get about film sometimes, like something that we never do. I feel like sometimes we're like, oh, this film good, this film's ass, bro, but they get really like
super in-depth.
Yeah, they know like almost everything about film to at least from our knowledge, which we know next to nothing. So when we hear them talk about something, it just seems like they know everything about it. So they're really good. Go check them out. I feel like they do
their research a little bit better than we do. It seems more like we watch a movie and then we're like, all right, let's talk about it. They like do research on the movie, watch the movie, and then they talk about it.
Yeah, they really unique gimmick
more in-depth conversations.
Like they do like drinking rules, like when they review the movie and stuff like that. So go check them out. They're really great guys. I love them a lot. Hopefully we can do something with them in the future because they're great and we love them a lot. So go show them all the support. I think they just hit like 1K listeners or something.
I think that's what they said.
So give them another. They're
growing a lot faster than we are.
For good reason, because they're way better and they're great. Sure.
They're also a lot more consistent than us.
Yeah.
Considering they've consistently put out stuff throughout quarantine, and this is our first one in like six weeks.
Holidays and quarantine.
But then before that, there was like 6 weeks between that one. But hopefully, the plant you just destroyed that cam when you set your drink down. But hopefully, this is supposed to be the start of a consistent week-to-week upload.
Hell yeah.
That's the plan. So we're back, baby.
We're back, baby. All right, let's get into some of the stuff we've watched recently. I have a lot, and I'm very opinionated about one of them.
You struggled with that word.
No, I didn't.
Opinionated.
I'm gonna start off first with the one I hated, just so I can yell at Ethan. You guys didn't see it, but last week Ethan talked about Space Force and how it was really good. Space Force was fucking ass, bro.
It's not ass.
It's ass.
It's not ass.
It's really fucking bad.
I will say, obviously last week's episode we're not releasing it just because there's just so much editing that I would have to do, and it was our first one back, so it was kind of rocky.
We want to be clear, we didn't say anything like bad. It was just
it was our first one back.
It wasn't to our standards.
It was rocky. It wasn't to our extremely low standards.
We don't like giving a lot of real world opinion talk, and we got really deep into it.
Yeah,
and
we did. We got super deep into it.
We didn't want people that were affecting things. Like, we like our show to be kind of a place for you to escape and just talk about movies. So we didn't say anything wrong. It was just we felt like
it was political.
Yeah, we want to be the place where you can chill, and there was a very political.
I also felt it got really dark too, because when we were talking about what we watched, I talked about how I got caught up on 13 Reasons, and I got really heated about 13 Reasons because I didn't agree with it, and then I went on a really long, like 10-minute tangent about all the topics in that.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't. It's not the type of content.
Yeah, it's not what we want to put out.
Not that we aren't opinionated on it, but it's just it was parts of it were just really downer, and it was more of a low down episode than anything but cheerful, and we really didn't want our first one back to be super down and just gloomy. So even though this is our first one back and we're doing fucking Marriage Story, and that ripped a hole in my heart.
True. Now
do we have to re-talk about everything we talked about last week as far as what did we watch during quarantine?
No, you can pick a few, but
that's true. I won't go on the hour-long Office tangent.
Dude, I swear to God,
I'm gonna bring it up, but
I might just release that because he spent like 5-10 minutes talking. Just a clip.
So I was just gonna go over it again today because
let's not do that. That was so annoying.
No, because we did the math during it.
He spent like 10 minutes trying to figure out how many times he's watched The Office.
If you want to do the clip, we can do the clip. But if you want to go over it, I'll go over it.
I might just release a clip online sometime.
Just release a clip of me talking about The Office. It's like 4 minutes long.
But I want to get into Space Force because Ethan did talk highly about it last week.
It wasn't that bad. I will say. Say your 2 cents.
I'm on episode 3, so maybe it suddenly gets better.
Did you watch episode 3?
Yeah. Okay, I'm on episode 4.
Okay, I was gonna say 3. It seems to be because from what I've talked about with people who have watched it and from what I've seen online, 3 is the real pickup point. 1 and 2 are really, really slow and hard to get into. 3 is the real, gets you into it, and then it really picks up from there. Man,
my thing is like I'm conflicted because I see a lot of reviewers that I really respect. A lot of reviewers I really respect are talking highly of the show, and I just don't see why. I mean, I will finish the show and I'll come back with a finished opinion.
I haven't finished it yet either.
My problems aren't with the story because I think it's slightly interesting. It's just severely unfunny. Like you know when you watch something and you could tell it's supposed to be a joke and it just hurts you because like,
I didn't have
it's
any of
such
those
a
moments.
bad like none. I laughed 0 times.
Really?
0 times, dude.
I didn't have any of those moments. I just might not remember those moments because there was a couple in the most recent episodes I watched. I can't remember what the hell the joke was, but there were 2 jokes that just had me rolling. But they were also in later episodes. I will say the first one, it wasn't straight comedy like it was.
Yeah.
The main reason I watched is because I'm just such a huge fan of Steve Carell. And he helped write it, and then Greg Daniels obviously wrote a lot of The Office, and he helped create The Office and Parks and Rec and all that. So I had high hopes for it. It didn't really meet my expectations. I will give it that.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, but I also definitely wouldn't say it's a bad show. It's worth the watch. It's not like The Office for me. It's not going to become a classic. You know what I mean? Like The Office, Parks and Rec, Scrubs for some people, Friends, stuff that it's basically timeless and you can rewatch it as many times as you want. I don't think it's going to become one of those. It's going to become something like kind of like Superstore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Superstore, I really enjoy Superstore, but when I finish Superstore, I might go back and watch it if I'm bored, but it's not going to be something that I'm drawn back to. You know what I mean?
My whole thing is
not one of those timeless type shows.
It's just,
but I get what you're saying.
It just feels uncomfortable to watch sometimes because I feel like a lot of the personalities and characters in the show are just so one note embarrassing. Like you have that stupid guy who talks about Twitter all the time.
Ben Schwartz.
Yeah.
Ben Schwartz's character is funny. I like his character.
I don't like it. I think he's very one note kind of annoying, and then you have the scientist who's
that's his character. The scientist cracks me up too.
The character shouldn't be one note. It has a very
high star-studded cast.
The cast is fine, and I don't even really care.
You just don't think they work well together or something?
I don't like the writing. Like I feel like it's
not that bad.
It's uncomfortable sometimes. It feels like, and then the comedy. They say a lot of racist stuff, which is
that's the point.
Let me get to it real quick. I'm not against racial comedy.
I thought you were gonna say I'm not against racism.
No, fuck racism. I'm not against racial comedy because that can be a good source of comedy sometimes, but it has to be funny. If you say, "Oh, Russian's bad," I'm not gonna laugh. It's not funny.
The point, and see, we said we didn't want to get political, but it's going to get political for a hot second, just because I'm explaining.
Let's not.
No. I'm not. I'm none of all of my personal opinions
aside. This is
aside,
why we scratched last episode.
All of my personal opinions aside, this is why they did what they did. Space Force is a comedy, and it is making fun of Space Force. So it is which was implemented by Trump, who a lot of people feel to be extremely racist.
See, no,
no opinions given. I don't say other people.
I get why the racial comedy is there. It just has to be funny.
It's a show to make fun of. It's a show to make fun of our current government. Is basically what it is. And our current government is largely viewed as fairly racist, or can be racist rather.
Yeah.
Not that it necessarily is or isn't. Can be. But. That's the whole point of it. It's more of a mockery on Trump, I feel, than anything without directly attacking him. Now, see, there's one issue, not an issue, something that I was kind of confused, or not confused. So it seems to be, a mockery on the U.S. government, right? The whole show in general. But the guy they have playing the president, I would have assumed do
they show the president in the show?
Yeah, they show the president. I don't know if he's shown up, but unless it's totally going right over my head. The guy who they have to play the president in his character does not really resemble our president at all. Which I would have thought that would have been a huge selling point. Yeah, but that also could have been a safety reason.
They definitely talk about him like he's Trump because they talk a lot about him sending tweets.
No, they do. They do in that aspect. But when we actually see Trump. Or not Trump, the president. When we actually see the president's character, it doesn't really, at least for me, it doesn't appear like they are trying to mock Trump. Or if they do, it's super subtle. Yeah. It doesn't feel like it's an obvious attack at Trump, which that's what the show basically is. I mean, that's what it appears to be. It's called Space Force. It's clearly a mockery of Space Force.
Yeah, I get the.
Okay, hang on. The dog part and the monkey. The Astro Chimp.
That was so dumb.
Astro Chimp. That was funny.
I didn't like that. That was dumb.
That was funny.
It's just like I think that episode is where it really I think I was watching that episode when I texted you in the chat, and I was like,
Probably.
Ethan, this is ass.
Yeah, you texted me.
Because, like, it's just... I'm starting to think... I don't know if I like Steve Carell. Like, I like him as a guy. Like, there's nothing the guy's done wrong that would really make me dislike him. What do you mean you don't like
Steve Carell?
What, there's...
Name one bad thing he's done other than Space Force.
I'm sure he's done serious roles. Hold on, let me listen. Let me say. Because even on The Office, like, I like The Office, don't get me wrong. I don't laugh that much at The Office, but at least I enjoy watching the show.
Don't say anything about his character being cringy.
I don't think
because his character is supposed to be cringy.
But
he's supposed to be that clueless, dumb, kind of asshole boss who means well and he thinks he's good.
Okay,
he just doesn't
in The Office
that's
fine.
His character.
I thought you were gonna talk about Space Force.
No.
Because in Space Force he's cringy and he's dumb. Which even then,
I will say,
I don't think you can deflect. I think there's certain types of saying like, oh, it's how it's supposed to be. Well, there's execution of how it's supposed to be.
I hear you.
Like I could say like, oh, he's supposed to be racist, so he can get.
I don't think Steve Carell's character is supposed to be.
No,
racist.
no, I'm just saying anything. Like,
okay. See, I thought you were saying
he's supposed to be racist.
I was like, maybe that's why it wasn't being executed well. It's because he's not a racist character.
Yeah. So he can get away with saying anything. No, he can't. It's got to be executed properly. It's got to.
For sure.
The audience needs to know that, at least for one, the racism's not right, but for two, that it's done in a way.
I don't think it's trying to defend race. I think it's a mockery of it.
I'm saying in general, my bad, but just it was kind of an example. Just like the audience needs to know what you're doing in that joke, I guess.
I get what you're saying,
and I want
there's got to be a clear direction of where it's headed.
I want to be perfectly clear. I'm not offended at the racism. That was just one thing that stuck out to me.
If you were offended at the slight racism in that show,
no,
then it's probably not the show.
I'm not
for
offended.
It's just you probably shouldn't watch The Office.
True. No, but like I'm not offended. That's just one thing that stuck out to me, being like
political,
just completely unfunny in the way that they executed it. That was kind of my thing.
I will say
I will come back probably maybe next week having finished the show because I have a few more things I want to talk about and then we can get into what Ethan watches.
All I was gonna say about that is, one, I love Steve Carell. I just like he's one of my favorite actors. His character's Michael Scott is just ingenious.
I like
a lot of it's improv. Not all of it, but a lot of it's improv. A lot of what they do on that show is improv. Also, looking at the camera right now is super hella crooked.
It really is.
Because look at the top of the door frame. There's so much left on above me. Do you want to fix it? Because it's driving me fucking mad.
I'm afraid.
Now that I've seen it, can I fix it? It's driving me mad.
No, it's barely hanging on. I don't want to mess with it. Let's leave it for now, man. It's barely hanging on by a
thread. All right, when we do the ad break, we'll try and fix it because we got to cut it out anyway.
Okay.
Anyway. Steve Carell. His character's Michael Scott is genius. His two best characters, Michael Scott. Fuck, what's his name?
Space Force guy.
No, 40-Year-Old Virgin is one of the funniest comedies that has ever been created. Have you ever sat down and watched 40-Year-Old Virgin?
No, I might give it a chance.
It is so fun. I am telling you, his character in that, he obviously plays a 40-year-old virgin.
Shocker.
Who is a lot of people in the chat have compared me to him in that movie. Because when you go into his house, he's just got like display cases of like old action figures and toys and everything all over the place, and like comic books and everything, and they're like, this is definitely gonna be Ethan.
I don't want people in the chat looking at my house.
I feel like mine is way worse than yours when it comes to toys. Actually, maybe not. You might have the same amount as me, but mine are all displayed. Yeah. Mine are all out.
All right. There's a couple.
I think that's all I want to say on Space. I enjoy Space Force. I think it's worth the watch, but it's not top tier comedy. Yeah. If that makes sense.
I'll come back next week with my finished thoughts.
It's not an unfunny comedy, but it's not the top. It's not the top of the game comedy. If that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. There's a couple more things.
To go back to what I watched. You want to go back to what I watched or what you were watching?
I was just going to finish all what I watched real quick. Because you went on like a huge tirade last week.
I'm not going to list off all mine because I literally listed like, there were literally 20 shows on that list.
Last week, you listed like so many things and I was like, I've watched Solar Opposites a little bit.
Yeah. No, so I'll just do my favorites from what I watched.
I'm going to go into what I watched real quick. I guess I'll run through quickly. Dave, I watched.
Dave is funny.
I watched Dave in like
Dave
a
is
day.
Really funny.
It's a good show. It rubs me the wrong way because I enjoy the show. I just think it was executed a little bit weirdly. There's some parts of it where I look back and I'm like, why did they bring this up? Because this meant nothing, or like this plot point was weird, or this kind of just happened and it doesn't really matter anymore. Like they made a big deal about it for 20 minutes and then it was like it never really paid off or anything. But I don't know. It's a super enjoyable show. I mean, hits home a little bit for me, kind of, because white rapper. But like it's just
all the best rappers are the white rappers.
You keep saying
that's not a racist thing. That's not a. Okay, yeah, that came off wrong. That's not what I mean. I just mean that's who I listen to. As far as like Lil Dicky, Machine Gun Kelly.
I mean, honestly,
Jake Hill, Josh A. They just happen to be.
There's only 2 rappers in my top 10 that are white. And that's Eminem and NF.
I wouldn't say all the rappers I listen to are top 10. You know what I mean? Yeah. The ones I listen to regularly definitely are my favorite, which is kind of weird. But they're just the ones that I vibe to regularly. I will say, we were talking about earlier, as much as I don't want to support DaBaby because of his whole punching the girl in the face controversy, his song that's been trending on TikTok, Rockstar, has just been a straight vibe.
It good.
What do you mean? Brand new Lamborghini.
It good. I mean, what do I say?
Pistol on my whip like I'm a cop.
Anyway, but Dave's good. It's really interesting to see some of these highlights. I don't know too much about Lil Dicky, so I can't really know if like everything in there is like
he's funny. He was
legit, like if that was his life, but
I doubt it. It's all it's all if it might be loosely based. It's all exaggerated for
I feel like it's kind of like an 8 Mile thing where it's like 8 Mile, you look at him like that's an Eminem story even though it's B-Rabbit kind of thing. But in this, it was always like, oh, this is about Lil Dicky. Like, he's Lil Dicky in the show.
Oh, okay.
So, kind of like, I don't know. It's a good show. I really enjoy it. I guess I want to go more in depth on it. I might talk about it next episode.
Hot in here, bro.
It really is. But
I took my hair down and I'm dying.
Yeah, it's bad in here. The next thing I watched was The Good Place. I watched all of The Good Place, and it was extremely good.
I've had that recommended to me by multiple people.
I highly recommend it, dude.
I've watched like 2 seasons. I don't know how many seasons are on Netflix.
There's 3 on Netflix, but there's 4 seasons.
Okay, so I've watched 2.
4 was the last season. Dude, that show, I'm not gonna spoil it. It ends so sad. Dude, I was not prepared.
Is it just a sad week for us?
Apparently.
Because all right, go ahead, continue.
I watched a lot more TV than I normally do this week.
What else have you watched?
I was gonna finish talking about The Good Place. I realized it right after.
I was hoping you would just keep going.
I don't know what to say. It's just like
I know you watched Solar Opposites.
I did watch some Solar Opposites, but I talked about it last week.
We're not putting that out though, so you can go ahead and talk about it.
I don't know. I mean, Solar Opposites is good. You're really just trying to get me to stop talking about The Good Place. Oh, I've seen you like go twice trying to like speed me up.
What do you mean? Do you think I was motioning to speed you up?
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to get my hair right because it's bugging me because it's hot.
No, it's like there's 2 times like I went to go talk about verbally? The Good Place. Yeah, and you've been like, oh, so you watch Solar Opposites?
Oh, I wasn't trying to. I really don't have anything against The Good Place. It was just all unintentional.
Honestly, The Good Place, like you watch it for a while and you're like, oh, it's a quirky heaven show. It's kind of cool. And then it just turns into something like, no spoilers, just turns into something I didn't expect from the show. Like, it definitely turns into a different show and for the good. I like how they, like, weave in a lot of these characters and, like, I had a couple criticisms with it. Like, I think one thing I was going to say, Ethan's lip singing something.
I just got Rockstar stuck in my head.
One thing I was going to talk about is, like, for some reason, I feel like there's itty bitty tiny writing issue. I feel like sometimes the character of Eleanor is always like, she's like, dude, man, bro.
Think
and
that's
I like that a lot.
My issue with the show. Not that I don't like the show.
I didn't even say my issue.
No. I know I'm not saying your issue is the same issue as mine. I'm saying when you brought her up, I just don't like her character.
Oh, I love Eleanor.
And it's hard to attach to a show when the main character just doesn't hit home for me.
I don't agree with that. I really love Eleanor.
A hole right there.
I know.
And I noticed it drives me nuts.
My issue is Eleanor is the one that's like, dude, man, bro, like stuff like that, which is great. I love that about her character. I had some personality. But some of the other characters talk like that from now and again, and it just kind of feels like sometimes they write the other characters like Eleanor for some reason. I don't know if...
You mean so that they're similar to her?
Yeah, because like I feel like one of her main
It's been a while since I've watched
one of her main verbal traits is that she's like, come on, man, dude, saying stuff like that, which is how I talk, you know? So
Wasn't
I'm not
she
like putting it
supposed to
down.
go to hell?
Oh,
or she felt like she was supposed to go to hell or something like that?
There's a whole kind of like plot. It's a lot more deep than that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, structurally, isn't that what it's supposed to be?
Is
that
like,
she doesn't belong in heaven or something?
That's what the first episode suggested, yes. But no, like my main thing I think I'm just trying to get across is like that's her main verbal trait, and sometimes they give that verbal trait to other characters. So it doesn't seem like anyone else has a consistent verbal trait because sometimes they use Eleanor's. I don't know, it's nitpicky probably, and it doesn't take away from my enjoyment because I love the show so much. Are you good?
It's hot.
It's hot, but it's not that hot.
I am sweating.
You are over exaggerating.
I am sweating, baby.
I really wish I would have took notes because I feel like I had a lot to talk.
I always
about
feel like
show.
On the way here, I'm always like, we're gonna talk about this. I'm driving. I'm like, we're gonna talk about this and this and this. And I get here, I'm like, what's up, boy? How you doing?
Yeah, I think next week I'm just gonna take notes.
I am.
Take notes because I feel it. Oh, I'm gassy, bro.
Dude, I was gassy earlier. I was burping in the middle of my sentence.
No, A Good Place is really good. Good show. No, there's another thing. Is sometimes I feel like they had this whole thing that like the characters kind of like stay together, but there are some times I feel like they conveniently get those characters to stay together no matter what situation they're in.
You mean like it was written for them to stay together?
I mean, yeah, obviously.
That's what I was like,
but it just kind of like,
I'm sure it probably was intentional.
No, that's not what I mean. Like the whole point is that no matter what, these people will find each other. But sometimes I feel like it just falls in their lap, like conveniently. Kind of like obviously it's written by writers, but like
writers wrote the show.
I fucking hate you sometimes.
You said obviously it was written by writers. It was produced by producers and it was directed by a director.
You don't know that.
That's true. Sometimes they do have. Sometimes the stars do direct. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, but just sometimes it feels like out of nowhere, like, oh, this guy was passing by and he found the group and he was like, I'm just gonna uproot my entire society and be with you guys. It's kind of like that, you know?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you don't.
Haven't gotten that episode.
But yeah, I guess that's all I want to say about it. I am dumb and I didn't bring any notes, and I can't bounce off of Ethan because he hasn't watched it. And then I haven't watched too much more. I started rewatching Lego Ninjago for some reason. It's random, but I really enjoyed that show as a kid. And
sometimes I forget I'm like 4 years older than you.
Yeah, it's
or 3 years older than you.
I hate it. It's really trippy. And then
because you wouldn't think that it's a lot. I just want to go on a tangent because normally, see, here's the thing: my younger brother and my older brother, they're 4 years apart. There's 2 years in between each of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, but we all grew up in the same house, so like we all watched the same shit. But like you and me, there's 3 years in between us, and it's like totally different, totally different. Cause like I grew up on Drake and Josh, and
I mean, so did I.
Yeah, but like the 2 or 3 shows that came after it on there, I just didn't attach to like, cause like iCarly came on.
So good.
And like, so I only watched a little bit of iCarly. I liked iCarly, but like when I was, you know, in high school was really where that started. Well, maybe middle. I don't know, but you know what I mean. When I was at that age where I stopped watching kids shows as much, it was in the middle of iCarly.
Yeah.
So like everything after that, I never watched. Like, what was the spinoff of iCarly?
Sam and Cat.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, it was good.
See, that's what I'm saying. I see, like, that's not on my radar. I'm not saying it wasn't good. That's just not on my radar at all. And neither was Victorious. But I think that was on the same.
Victorious was good.
But I think that was the same time as iCarly. So I don't know. That just probably
that's why Sam
that was probably just one that I just didn't watch
because Cat was from Victorious.
But like on Disney Channel, it was always the most
I know like every DCOM, bro. I'm like
what I'm saying, the most
encyclopedic knowledge of DCOMs.
The most. the most recent thing that I watched on Disney Channel, as far as when I was a kid, that was up to date, would have probably been The Sweet Life on Deck.
So good.
And maybe there's the XD. What was that skateboard show?
I know what you're talking about. What is
Luther? Zeke and Luther.
I think so.
Yeah, Zeke and Luther. I'm pretty sure it's called Zeke and Luther.
I forgot about that.
I watched some of that. Like I said, that was kind of in the stage for iCarly for me.
I'm pulling up Disney Plus because I want to.
Where it was, that. I don't think they're on there. I don't think any of this stuff that was on Disney XD. There's something that was on Disney XD that I was looking for, and I couldn't find it. But like when Disney XD was big was right when I was starting to stop watch those kids shows as much. So like I resonate with them a little bit, but not as much as you. Yeah. But it's weird because we're close in age, but with the little age gap we have, just brings a totally different childhood as far as TV shows. You know what I mean?
I watched a lot of weird stuff.
You know what I mean though? Like, isn't that crazy?
Like my subscription right now.
Do you have Verizon?
No.
Yeah. Your phone screen is dirty as hell.
No, it's not.
Yes, it.
Oh, okay, yeah, kind of.
Oh wait, do you have the privacy screen protector?
I don't know if it's privacy. If it is, that's kind of dumb. But
no, it definitely is. See, look at it now. Isn't it way darker?
Yeah, I know. Even when
it might not be
chilling,
anyway,
if I move it a little bit when I'm just chilling.
Was it called Zeke and Luther?
Yeah.
Okay, that was a weird tangent, but I liked.
They had another one in Disney Plus. It was like this guy had like this rocker band. Like no, like
that's the show I was looking for. What was it?
I don't remember. But like,
was it I'm in a Band? Are you talking about where there's like that 16 or high schooler, and then like this old timey rock star just moves into his house?
Yeah.
And they started. Are you talking about that one?
Yeah.
That's why I looked it up, because I was looking for that show. I was gonna watch it.
It was like this rock band.
The reason it came on my radar, I can't remember what it was. I was watching some show or movie or something, and that guy came on. I was like, "What the fuck is he from?"
Yeah, I think it was I'm in the Band,
and I couldn't remember. So I looked up the movie I was watching, and I saw him, and I was like, "This is the guy." And then I went to his IMDb, and I saw that, and I was like, "That's what it was." And I went to Disney Plus to watch it. And it wasn't on there. I was sad.
That makes sense. But yeah, that's what I've been watching. Oh, I also watched Star Wars Episode 1. Good.
The Phantom. Good.
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 The prequels are not.
They are terrible.
Bro. The prequels are not ass. I don't
Actually, I will say Episode 1 is fucking badass though.
I like Episode 1.
Episode 1 has one of the best soundtracks.
It's pretty good.
Duel of Fates
is really good. See, like, the prequels have good moments. I genuinely just like the Clone Wars era. You guys see what I have to do with?
I'm just saying. Camera too. You can't bring up Phantom Menace and not expect me to do Duel of Fates.
I mean, true, but nah.
Just fuck. Fuck young Annie. Fucking shithead.
It's so funny, like watching that. Like,
I mean, feel bad though, because that tanked that kid's career, and he was like 6.
Yeah, I do feel bad.
And it ruined his career because he just got so much hate from it, which it's not fair to him.
It's so funny watching like the prequels.
It's not fair.
In retrospect, I mean, obviously they came out after the.
But like, that's so sad to me though. Imagining you're a child who probably idealizes Star Wars, and you get cast to be in Star Wars, and you're so excited, and you're like, and you're the main actor in Star Wars, and the show's about you, and it comes out, and all these 40-year-old men are like, "Fuck this kid! He's a fucking shithead," and they hate him. That's got to be the most heartbreaking thing.
Star Wars fans fucking suck,
dude. Star Wars fans do fucking suck. The hardcore fans are fucking assholes.
Yeah, they really are, dude.
But like, that's got to be the most heartbreaking thing, to be a kid who gets to play in Star Wars, the biggest movie franchises of the time, and then it comes out and you just get so much hate. That's gotta suck.
Speaking of that,
would suck for being an adult. Imagine being a kid.
I love John Boyega on Twitter because he just doesn't fucking care about Star Wars anymore.
He doesn't. He's the same way. He's 100% Harrison Ford.
They screwed him over.
No, yeah, they absolutely did.
Harrison Ford's different. Harrison Ford just doesn't fucking care. John Boyega is just mad because John Boyega got fucked over.
He would have been the coolest fucking Jedi, and he should have been a fucking Jedi.
Yeah, he goes back and forth all the time talking about like, yeah, the plan was like for
him to be a fucking Jedi.
I was talking to my friend Hunter about this yesterday. He was like, I haven't really seen the new ones, but I know people are mad about it. I'm like, oh boy. So I was like, because I was talking about Finn, and that's where he brought it up. I was like, I think it's so dumb that in episode 9 they brought in the idea that Finn was gonna tell Rey that he was force sensitive. Why fucking tease something that you don't care about?
Well, they teased it, but knowing full fucking well that there's never gonna come anything out of it. Yeah, because we're not gonna get a fucking Finn spinoff, and I don't want a fucking Finn spinoff. The only reason I would want a Finn spinoff is for the sake of John Boyega. So that he gets what he deserved. But that's the only way. I would like because I don't give a shit about the fucking Skywalker saga anymore. I don't want to see any more of that shit ever again. Ever again. Not that it's all shit, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did we need 9 fucking movies about the Skywalkers? No. No, we fucking didn't.
It would have been really cool if... See, I'm iffy about the sequel trilogy because Force Awakens was fucking awesome. I enjoyed it.
Force Awakens was sick as shit.
Last Jedi I didn't really enjoy that much.
Sucked cock.
Oh, it didn't suck cock, but like I didn't enjoy it that much. But
a little bit of penis.
Episode 9 I actually really enjoyed. There was just a few things that I
enjoyed the first half of episode 9. We don't need to go over this. We've already talked about this. We've done like 3 Star Wars episodes. We don't need to go on a Star Wars tangent again.
It just pisses me off that they had the inkling no, just let me say it. They had the fucking inkling to say, to act like they cared about Finn being a Jedi enough to fucking tease it.
You know what they did? They cared, and then Rey was the #1 trending Halloween costume after it came out, and they were like, fuck this is money. That's exactly what happened.
I agree. And there's nothing wrong with Rey.
Probably wasn't solely based around the Halloween costume, but it was...
There's nothing wrong with Rey. I know there's people that are going to be like, oh, what the...
I don't hate Daisy Ridley.
I don't hate her.
Why couldn't we have them both?
I don't even hate Rey. I know there's people gonna be like, "Oh, Star Wars is catering to women." Oh, I don't care.
Shut the fuck up. No,
I don't care if Rey is the main Skywalker. I don't care. It's just like they clearly had something for Finn to do, and they just didn't give it to him, and they gave all their attention to Rey. Like Leia and Han had stuff to do in the original trilogy, so why couldn't Finn have just anything cool to do at all?
He did have a thing to do. His thing to do was to follow Rey around.
Apparently.
That was it. Oh, do you want to do the ad read right now? To do a segue?
All right, before we get to our main topic, here's a word from our sponsors.
That was good.
Wow, is that a good ad read?
We haven't done it yet. I mean, we have. That's crazy.
Not canonically, but...
Think about it. They hear it before we do, before we say it.
True.
But not really, because we say it, but we say it after. But they hear it before we say it in real time.
Yep.
Or in fake time. I don't know. That's weird. That's weird to me.
It is weird. Anyway. Time is an enigma. Let's get to our main...
My mind is an enigma.
Let's get to our main topic.
I didn't get to go over what I watched.
Episode 2.
I didn't get to go over to what I watched, and that's not our main topic either.
Who cares about what you watch?
All right, real quick. I'm just gonna list.
You're never real quick.
No. I'm just gonna list my #1 show of quarantine. Okay.
Just go ahead.
Outer Banks. Outer Banks was amazing.
I was gonna start watching. I actually kind of forgot.
No, you should. Outer Banks was really, really good. I have a whole other list of other shit, but Outer Banks was really, really good.
I don't know, cause the one time I was like, oh, Ethan recommended this to me. Let's watch it before the pod next week. It was Space Force, and I fucking hated it, and it was ass.
I didn't really say so much as we need to watch it, or you need to watch it because it's amazing and incredible. It was more so because it came out last week, and we were doing the pod last week.
Yeah, but you said, hey, this is hysterical.
This is pretty good. I said this is hysterical.
I was like, I might check it out. You're like, you should. You would like it.
I did say that.
Which kind of sucks.
I take it back.
That makes me want to like it because you say that makes me feel bad about not liking it because you said I would like it.
But you never hit record.
Yeah, I did. I see.
I know, but you looked real quick. I saw the brief moment of fear in your eyes that you didn't.
Well, I gotta. All right,
we're at 45 minutes, so we gotta really get into the topic.
Movie good. Okay, let's go.
We didn't even say what movie we're doing.
Marriage Story. I watched it when it came out, but Ethan was like...
I didn't watch it until last night.
But Twitter said that the acting was weird. I hate it.
There was one thing that I really, really, really enjoyed about the movie that I thought was done really well and was super subtle.
The ending?
It was not subtle.
Oh,
it was very clear what happened.
I really like the ending.
No, I liked the ending.
It's like La La Land.
I liked the ending. I haven't seen La La Land either.
Well, I guess if you've seen La La Land, I kind of just spoiled Marriage Story for you.
Damn.
That burnt fucking stinks.
It smells like birthday cake bash bang, because that's what it was.
God, it smells like rotten eggs.
Sorry,
Damn.
Anyway, no. So if
do you just want to go full into like spoilers? You just want to draw the line right here?
Let's just go full into spoilers.
It's a Netflix movie that came out like 6 months ago.
Yeah, it came out a while ago.
We're not gonna do spoiler-free segment. We love you. If you're leaving now, have a nice day. We love you. Like, check out the next pod. Check out our Patreon, all that.
We're done.
But if you have watched it, stick around. We're gonna talk about it.
We're begging you.
All right, spoilers for Marriage Story. Weed yourselves out.
It's really, really, really goddamn sad.
Yep.
Like, I knew it was going to be, obviously, by the name.
I gotta remember where I ranked it last year.
And what it's about. I knew it was going to be sad, but I didn't know it basically doesn't have a happy ending.
Yep.
I mean, it does because it works out, but it just got progressively worse throughout the whole film. It was just really fucking sad. It was just super fucking sad. But I'm just...
It was in my top 10 of last year. It was number 9.
But what I was going to say, the thing that I really, really loved about this movie. So, if you haven't watched it...
Why are you here?
True. Adam Driver's character, Charlie, is a theater director. And there was a slight, I'm sure intentional nod to theater in this film. Probably more than once, but the main one that I picked up was...
Slight?
Not slight, but like the way the movie was done was similar to the way theater's done, if that makes sense. Not like it was done as a play.
Yeah.
But the transitions for me, it's the only movie in the past 20 years that's come out, like since before the 2000s, that uses fade to black transitions in a non-TV movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because like TV movies will use fade to black transitions because it goes to commercial, and TV movies usually have weird transitions if you watch them not on TV. Like if you show them on Netflix, like Disney movies, when you watch them on Netflix, they have super weird transitions because the transitions are set up for commercial breaks. Obviously, Marriage Story doesn't have; they weren't set up for commercial breaks, but it uses fade to black, and what fade to black made or resonated with me is like a theater, because you know my high school did a lot of plays, and like I had a lot of friends in theater and stuff. Yeah. So like, you know, they closed the curtains, and it was kind of symbolic to the closing the curtains. So I feel like that was a nod to the whole theater aspect of the movie, which I thought that was really cool. But also, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Their kid is kind of fucking stupid.
Yeah,
he's kind of fucking dumb. They wrote him really dumb. They really did, because he's like 6'7", right?
Yeah, I think so.
And like, he really struggles reading one-syllable words, and I don't understand. Probably very similar to me at that age, but
the thing I like about this movie, and I think I've said it before, because technically this is the second time we're reviewing it, because I brought it up. I brought it up on what we've been watching.
Sam had watched it.
Yeah, and you were like, Twitter said it sucked.
We did say that. It didn't suck. I really enjoyed the movie.
There's one thing that, like, I'll say again that I enjoyed. I love how do you say this?
I don't know.
There's no bad guy in the movie.
They're all the bad guy.
Exactly. Well, you know what I mean. Like, they paint each person with their flaws and their strength.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, a lot of movies like this would paint the male as the bad guy,
or the female. It's
true, but like a lot of films like that would be like, oh, the male
are like really strong one way or the other.
Yeah, but like they'd be like, oh, the male wants his job and he's leaving the woman behind, his child. But in this one, you see like, yeah, Charlie has those attributes. But also, I forgot ScarJo's name. I didn't watch it this week. I watched it when it came out.
I forgot her name too.
But
why'd you call her ScarJo?
Who
refers to her as ScarJo?
Everyone refers to her as ScarJo.
I've never heard anyone refer to Scarlett Johansson as ScarJo. Sounds like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles villain.
Don't be a follower, be a leader.
What does that mean?
Whatever.
What?
I knew what it meant in my head. Anyway, but no, like it's not just so, oh, Charlie's doing this. It's also ScarJo's like dealing with this stuff. Can you look up her name? Like she's dealing with this. She has these problems. She wants to like do her TV stuff here, and it's causing Charlie to like do. I really enjoy how they flip the script on certain things, because for a while it kind of seems like like she's kind of like in the right for like the first half of the movie. Like you follow her and you follow the child.
You get both characters good and bad sides.
Yeah.
It was very evenly split. Like it wasn't like it didn't depict either one of them as the villain. It depicted both of them with all of their flaws and all of their good attributes equally, and I feel like you don't see that a lot. Yeah, like ever in movies. Like, it didn't have a clear-cut villain. If anything, actually, I think it did have a clear-cut villain. The lawyers were the clear-cut villain because her lawyer was 100% trying to take away the child.
I fucking hate Laura Dern.
But she was doing it super dirty, and it was very clear that what's her fucking name? Hang on, because I was gonna say ScarJo because you got me on it. Give me a second. I'm gonna find her name.
And we'll look on Letterboxd too. Yeah, it's literally there's not even like the description in the movie is like 2 sentences. Oh, Nicole.
That is a terrible picture of her. Isn't that all awful?
True.
Anyway,
bro.
Anyway, no, but Nicole's, which is Scarlett Johansson's character.
Yeah.
Nicole's
I think
lawyer
they followed along with that.
Nicole's lawyer is a fucking cunt.
Well, I wouldn't say that word, but she's a dick.
No, she's a cunt. Cause she's like,
that's not a socially accepted word, bud.
She was being one, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
She was like, look, I feel like you earn that title if you selfishly try to take someone else's money and kid if it's not the right thing to do.
That's just lawyers, baby.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Like, if it would have been if the right thing would have been to take the kid away from the dad because the dad is a bad dad or he wasn't what's best for the kid, then sure, by all means. But she was trying to take the kid because she's a lawyer and that's what she does.
Yeah,
but she was also trying to take money that Nicole, Scarlett Johansson's character, did not want to take.
Yeah.
At all.
They bring it up early in the...
Like, they obviously, Charlie and Nicole, husband and wife, did not agree and they wanted a divorce. But they did agree that they wanted what was best for the child and they wanted to do it as evenly and fairly as possible. But then when they got the lawyers involved, the lawyers only wanted it for mostly monetary value and they were trying to rip the other of all they had. And obviously that tore apart the family even further than they were. And it was just really fucking sad. And it broke my heart and it made me want to cry.
What I like about that plot is kind of like...
But it shows real life.
By the end of it, you see like both of them going broke over lawyer fees.
Yes.
Like law fees and stuff like that.
Dude,
and
writing that check for $25,000 as a deposit to the lawyer, I was like, what the fuck?
They're getting to their wits' end with the like end of this. Like they don't want to deal with this court system, but like you'll have times where they reconcile, and then something gets in the way, and they're like at each other's throats again, or so. Like, the whole movie just feels insanely real. Shout out to Noah Baumbach, the director and the writer.
It was good. It was really good. Like it's a really emotionally pulling movie. Like I wanted to cry a couple times in it. Like, I really did. There were 2 scenes that there were 3 scenes that made me want to cry.
There's a big scene.
The first the scene, it's about halfway through the movie. She comes over to talk to him. This is after they both have lawyers, so they're already on edge. They're already been at each other's throats.
And
they go over and have the conversation.
Huh? Is this like the big scene?
I think so.
I didn't know it was halfway through. I don't remember.
It's about halfway, maybe a little bit more than halfway through. Basically, Nicole goes over to Charlie's new house because he bought a house, or in a small house apartment, something.
Yeah, to be where
so that he
Nicole
could be in LA with the kid. Well,
because Charlie's from New York.
Charlie's from New York.
That's the whole thing.
So he moved down there. So she goes to his house when it's barely furnished, and they sit down and they're basically like, "Look, we didn't want to do this with lawyers. It's gotten super out of hand. Let's try and hash this out rationally." And of course, all of their emotions come out and they start fucking screaming at each other and yelling the most things that they hate about each other. And it really hurt me because Adam Driver does a fucking phenomenal performance. So emotional because he's like yelling at her. This is like right at the moment he snaps right in the middle of it, And he's like, fuck you, and he's like screaming at her, and he's like, you know what? Sometimes I wish you would die. And he's like, he's like, and I mean that solely for the purpose of our child, and I don't want him to hurt, and I don't want you to hurt. He's like, but sometimes it would just be easier if you got hit by a fucking car and you died, and the kid would be mine. And then obviously she's very hurt by this, but but also, it was very clear that he didn't mean that, and he's just super emotional, because after that, immediately he was crying during the part, and then he broke down and he hugged her, and he was like, I'm sorry, and she's like, and then she hugged him back. She's like, I know, me too, because they were both yelling at each other. They both said some, oh, we forgot to try to fix it. They both said some really, oh, that's much better, but now it's kind of, you mean to, here. Okay. Are you gonna scoot? Please, no, don't just lean.
I can't.
Brent, we had it. But anyway, if you're watching, this is a really weird time to have an emotion.
I can't scoot over because I need to be near the mic. Bro, chill.
But what was I saying? Fuck. So they hugged each other. And they're like, I'm sorry, and she's like, no. And they had a moment, because they both said some extremely, extremely hurtful things to each other, but they both knew the other person didn't really mean it. It was just, that was how they got it out. And it started to slowly smooth sail after that, but it was still obviously extremely emotional. That was the one big one. That was the real big tearjerker. But he did such an amazing performance there that it made me emotional as well.
One thing
it felt real.
Yeah, one thing that felt so
really
real about the film was like, there are certain points in it where, like, it just feels so nonchalant, like the stuff that's happening. And then you get into the courtroom, and that's where like the plot progresses, like in these courtroom scenes, per se. And so like you'll have things that were just small and minuscule. Suddenly like Laura Dern's stupid ass character will talk and say something, and then like Charlie's lawyer will be like, "Oh well, if you're bringing this up, Charlie said that when he went to go visit Nicole, she was drinking." So
and it was very clear that neither like.
But that scene where she was drinking was so like nonchalant and like innocent. It was something like that will get used like in the court system. Like they don't want the two of them clearly don't want this.
Yeah, because when the lawyers were hashing it out in the courtroom, and both of them were the lawyers were bringing up really bad things about the other person's client, the other lawyer's client, like her lawyer would bring up really bad stuff about Charlie and vice versa. And then it showed shots of Charlie and Nicole, and they both just looked shocked, and they both looked really hurt, because they didn't like, all of this stuff was like stuff that they were just ranting to the lawyers about, and wasn't stuff that they were trying to use against them, but then the lawyers used it against them, and they knew it was going to hurt the other person, and neither one, it was very obvious, wanted to hurt the other person. Or at least in that moment. The other scene that was really hard was the scene when the person comes to go sit with Charlie while he has Henry, the kid, with him to see if he is fit to be a parent, because they have to do that.
Yeah, that seems hard to watch.
And it got super awkward, and then towards the end, at one point Henry makes he's like do the knife thing, and she's like, what's the knife thing?
Yeah,
it's like nothing. It's
she's very on edge, like,
but obviously she has to ask and find out what the knife thing was. and then so obviously he put Henry to bed, and so right before she's getting ready to leave, and he was like, just so you know, the knife thing, he's like, it's not anything crazy. And he's like, what I do, he's like, sometimes to his mother, Nicole, he's got like a box cutter, like a tiny box cutter,
like a keychain
box cutter on his keys, and he's like, I'll pull the knife out and I put it up against my arm and pretend to cut myself, and I retract the blade. But when he did this, he cut the shit out of his arm. He didn't realize it because he was like super emotional, super stressed out. And she was like, oh my. And he looks down, he's got a giant gash in his arm. So he's like, it was also really uncomfortable to watch, but it was really well acted. So he's like holding it up, and she's like, I think I've seen enough. She's like, I can go. And he's like, and then she's like struggling with the door, and he picks up her purse and hands it to her, but she's got blood all over his hands, and she's like, ew, gross. And then he gets blood all over the door, and then immediately after, like, he kept his cool, and then immediately after she left, he goes in the kitchen, and he's like washing it off, and it's just mountains of blood. It's just coming out of his arm. And then he's like rinsing it off, and he gets like a tiny band-aid and tries to put it over top of it. I thought that was kind of fucking stupid. But then like he like basically passes out, or starts to pass out, fall unconscious. He falls on the ground, He's clear out of it. And then fucking this scene pissed me off. And then Henry, this like 7-year-old, walks in the room and like walks in the kitchen to get a glass of water or something. And his dad's like barely unconscious or barely conscious on the ground. So he like rolls over so he doesn't see the blood. He's like, Dad.
Also, I want to point out real quick that I achieved my step goal by picking up a thing of Gatorade.
Shut the fuck up. But he's like, so then like his dad's barely conscious on the ground of the kitchen floor, and Charlie, who's like 7, is like, Dad, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm just tired. And the kid's like, all right. And he just fucking walks out. I'm like, how I mean, I get he's a kid, but come on. Yeah. Also, some of those scenes really hurt my soul. Because he's like, I want to stay with Mom, and like, you can tell it really upsets him.
Yeah, I was gonna say this too.
I'm like that kid is ruthless to his dad.
Yeah,
like, obviously unintentionally.
I hate
it's not
how
like he doesn't like his dad. He's just like he's more comfortable with his mom. He's like, I want to stay with Mom, but like it's always he's like, Dad, you like when he comes down to visit for LA for the first time, they're laying in bed together, and he's like, Dad, you can leave, and you can see he's like, shit.
I was gonna say that because like I said, there's no like hero or villain in the story. They're both portrayed equally, but Charlie does get fucking shafted though. Like I feel like, especially with his whole main goal, like he's like, oh whatever.
My main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.
Like he knows he's not gonna like save his marriage, but his main goal is to
keep the kid, or at least be able to have joint custody of the kid.
Yeah,
but they wanted joint custody is what they want.
Ruthless, like you said to Charlie. Like,
but then
he's constantly just kind of like ragging on the dude. Like there's so many, like this Halloween scene. Like Henry's having a really good time with his mom. But Charlie,
that made me so fucking sad too.
Charlie's like, we had this.
He was so excited to go as the Invisible Man.
Yeah.
And Frankenstein. And he's like, I want to be a ninja. And he's like, but we were supposed to. Like,
they had these plans, like, and then
one of our friends made you this costume. We were gonna go.
Nicole
together.
took Henry to LA, and then like his whole thing changed, and now he was like living different lives.
It was super sad. It was really sad.
Like Charlie wanted to have good time. Like he generally felt like a good dad. Like he wanted to like.
Yeah.
He was stressed as fuck, but he still wanted to like have a good
relationship.
Movies like that just make me like worry in my life. Like, damn, did I shaft like my mom or my dad like wrong?
I don't think
like
you shafted your mom or your dad.
I don't know. Maybe I was like, damn, I didn't give them the credit they deserve.
Then the last scene that made me really, really want to cry. So at the beginning of the movie opens up with them in couples counseling, and it opens up like you see like the opening credits and whatever, and it plays basically in couples counseling. The counselor had both of them. Right, it wasn't counseling. It was divorce counseling. I
like that scene a lot because like
the opening scene.
Yeah, because
the opening scene.
It makes you think like what I love about Charlie, he's a great dad. Yeah, so it's kind of like it feels you like makes you feel wholesome.
Can I explain what the opening?
I was just gonna say real quick, like it just makes you feel so because I know you're not gonna give me a chance later.
That's fair.
It makes you feel so wholesome. Like this is a really good story, and then like everything happens at the beginning of the movie. You're kind of told that they're in a divorce, and you're like, oh, okay, maybe it's gonna get better, and then it's just like the whole movie kind of just plateaus, and it doesn't.
Pick up ever.
Yeah, it doesn't pick up.
But so the opening scene opens up with basically the divorce counselor, whatever the fuck it is, had them both write what they loved about the other person, their favorite things about the other person. So it opens up with
before they divorce, they at least want those things like on paper to like see this is what you're giving
that away. You once loved this person, so it doesn't get nasty essentially.
This is why, like, because there is
why you fell in love with him.
Yeah, there is a reason you fell in love with him. Like maybe it can rekindle something. Maybe it can put.
But anyway, so like he had both of them write a letter to the other person.
Oh, I've never been in a divorce.
He had them both write a letter to the other person. Like what you love about the other person. And the opening scene is the audio of these letters getting read, and they end up not getting read because Nicole did not want to read hers. At the end of the movie, this is also a year later because it's the next Halloween.
Yeah,
this is a year later. Charlie's there to visit, and you see what. It also helps to know that his son struggles to read a little bit. And they always work on reading. So at the end scene, he's reading something, and he had found the mom's letter to Charlie. So the kid's reading it, and he's like, "Hey, what are you reading there, buddy?" And he goes and he starts reading it over his shoulder and helping him read it. And then about probably a paragraph, maybe a couple of sentences in, he realizes that it's Nicole's letter to him from over a year ago, saying all the things she loved about him. So he helps him start to read it, and then it gets to a really emotional part at the end, and he just starts breaking down and like bawling while he's trying to read this, and it's super emotional. And then Nicole's in the background,
she's standing over
listening to him read it to his son, and she's crying, and it's just super emotional. It was a really sad. It was a good movie, but it's really fucking sad.
You think at that scene, like, oh,
you think they're gonna make up, but they don't.
This is the rekindling point, and
they
like,
don't.
It fast forwards, and there's this new fucking dude, and like,
fuck that dude. I don't know who it is. But as soon as I saw him, I was like, who's this motherfucker playing with Henry?
Yeah.
And then because they were playing like with like laser guns or something, and he's like, "Ha, gotcha." And then you can tell that Charlie walks in, and you can tell he knows the guy, but he doesn't like the guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like kind of like, "Hey, what's up?" And then
this and then Nicole, chill.
Yeah, I know, but like obviously that's gonna hurt. It's his ex-wife. Yeah. And then Nicole comes in. She's like, "Hey, just got in from work," and she gives this new fucking guy a kiss. And I'm like, "Fuck that guy. Fuck that." Yeah. I don't fucking like him. He was everything but good in the scene. Like he wasn't a bad guy or anything. He wasn't a shithead. But as soon as I saw him and I realized that was the boyfriend, I was like, "Fuck this guy." I really didn't like him.
Yeah, true.
Because it made me. It really drove the nail in the coffin that this is not getting better.
Yeah, the four of them are hanging out,
movie.
But like you can see that like Charlie's like
sad,
hurt a little bit, and they go outside and they say something. You think there might be a little bit of like spark, even at the end. You think there's a little bit of something that's gonna spark.
I don't think it's a spark. It's they've hit a.
No, it was just like when I was watching it.
They're best friends. It seems like they've got their best friendship back.
I remember like when he's walking away and Nicole's like, "Oh hey," and she goes to say something.
She goes and ties his shoe.
Yeah, I remember like in my head being like, "Is there gonna be something?" And then he's like, "Thank you," and they're like, "No problem." And they walk away to the car, and then credits start rolling on that scene. It's such La La Land.
I did think it was really
100% La La Land vibes. I don't know why I like put those two together, but like that's another movie I enjoy that doesn't get better. Like the whole movie's about, like in La La Land, the whole movie's about their relationship, and then they just don't work. And then the movie, he's playing at the club, and then Emma Stone comes in with their new boyfriend. They kind of see each other, and like it just kind of ends.
I don't know, when you said that, it made me think of. I don't know. I was talking about it today with Emma Stone. Have you seen Easy A?
Easy A, we talked about it, dude. That movie's so good.
Easy A is funny. I just saw this. The scene showed up on my feed or whatever. Hang on.
I really enjoy that movie for some reason.
Oof. Sam texted. I was trying to see if he said you can't do the FaceTime call.
Damn.
But whatever. No, the scene, one of the most iconic scenes from that movie. He's like, because she's like, I can get you alcohol for the party, and she's like, oh, that'd be great. She's like, we were worried about it. She's like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, and then fucking Jonah Hill's character goes, well, the funny thing about my back, Julie, is that it's located on my cock.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
I don't remember Jonah Hill being in Easy A. Are you even talking about Easy A anymore?
It's not Easy A. I'm fucking stupid. That was.
I was about to say.
No, that was.
Because I was going with you for a little bit. And I was
that was no. It was not. I don't know why the fuck I said Easy A. Yes, it was super bad.
Was Emma Stone in Superbad?
Yes. Was.
Lit.
I think so. Now I don't. Maybe I combined two movies. I'm pretty sure.
I was like,
I don't know what. I'm pretty sure it's Superbad.
I was following it for a second, then I was like, wait, I don't remember any of this.
I was thinking it was Easy A because Emma Stone was in it, but it wasn't Easy A. It was whatever movie. Pretty sure it was Superbad. Superbad's also fucking hysterical. But all I know is Jonah Hill says to Emma Stone, the funny thing about my back is that it's located on my cock. Also, I want to bring up the other line from that other movie I watched today. That was kind of weird. Teacher.
You always just need to bring something up.
Teacher was good, but the only reason I watched it because I saw a clip online from the movie, and he goes like, this bully is bullying this kid, and he shoves him over, and this girl's like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that. And then the bully goes, maybe you should tell me what his cum tastes like. And I just thought that was really fucking weird. Who wrote that?
I wrote that.
I don't know. When I saw that, and I was like, what? The fuck? This is a really weird.
What?
Okay, are we close to the end?
No.
We're like no.
Let's talk about Star Wars
No!
Episode 2. Bam, 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 bam. Hey, you guys want to see my land speeder?
Stop, Brent. You spent like $100 on Legos.
I really didn't.
In like the past 2 weeks.
I really didn't.
Okay, we're gonna break it down real quick. When you and me went to Walmart, no, we could be wrong.
I really didn't.
Did you almost?
No. Let's just get off this topic.
Okay. Oh shit! You know what we didn't do when you fixed the camera? We didn't adjust the light, and now your face looks really bad.
It's fine. Bro, that pod is over.
Just about done.
It doesn't matter. Thank you guys for joining, even though I kind of want this pod to go longer, but I don't know what to talk about.
Do you want to do a mini-sode after this?
No, I don't know.
I wanted to go longer. Do you want to do a small one? No. The fuck you mean?
We'll see. I don't know what to talk about. Thanks you guys for joining us.
We were supposed to do a mini-sode for our patrons anyway. I mean, we don't have any fucking patrons that subscribe to that. Yeah. But she, maybe we will. I don't know. We'll do mini-sodes.
I'll do a skateboard podcast.
Shut the fuck up. Your face. Alright, is that the end?
I can be an actor, bro.
Could you?
Yeah.
Alright.
Go to punch me.
Show me happy. Show me sad. That's just laughing.
This is me hiding my depression with laughter.
That's fair. Show me excited.
Pog.
Show me scared. I fucking hate you.
Bro, audio listeners are gonna be like,
they're shook because it's just me saying emotions and then silence.
Alright, thank you guys for joining. See you later. Peace out.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
I forgot to do it.